जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
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 यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यामुनतीरावनचारि यामुनतीरावनचारि Maybe you can call the kids also after when the class begins, they can go and play if they want. At least Bhagavad Gita verse they can read. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yasodhanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yasodhanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Radha Jamasundara Radha Jamasundara Radhe.
Jaya Radha Kama Sundara Kama Sundara.
Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada.
Tagore Premanande Hare Hare Bol. Jom Vishnupad Brahmansa Parivraj Kacharya Stoktar Sata Srimati Dhruvangi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Jom Vishnupad Brahmansa Parivraj Kacharya Stoktar Sata Srimati Dhruvangi Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नमाचार्य हरदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण को गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगमय यमुनामयी की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। तथा गौर प्रमानंदे हरि गो आलोरेश्वर से मुरली ओढ़ी। आलोरेश्वर से मुरली ओढ़ी। आलोरेश्वर से मुरली ओढ़ी। आलोरेश श्री गुरुवन गौरांग शुक्रवार की जय। ओम विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण विष्टाय पुत्र श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नाम नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचार निर्विशेष शून्यवाद पाश्चात्य स्थान kids it's okay they want to have fun. Okay, thank you very much for joining. We are reading from chapter 12 Bhagavad Gita, pure devotion service, very prominent important chapter in Bhagavad Gita. Verse number 3 and 4. You can use your cell phones. I didn't bring my Bhagavad Gitas. Bhagavad Gita, you can keep it up. Mataji, keep it on your lap. Yeah. Okay. Verse number 3 to 4. Yastu aksharam aniddesyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatragam achintyam cha kootastam achalam dhruvam sanniyamendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayah te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhutahite rataah. Yastu aksharam aniddesyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatragam achintyam cha kootastam achalam dhruvam sanniyamendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayah ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः ये तु अक्षरम् अनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं परिभासते. So you can say all A. Aksharam, Anidesyam, Avyaktam, Achincham, Achalam. First verse, all relate to the unmanifest impersonal form. Ye tu Aksharam, Anidesyam, Avyaktam, Paripasate, Sarvatra Gamma Chincham Cha, Kotastam Achalam Dhruvam, Sanniyamyendriya Gramam, Sarvatra Samabuddhaya, Te Prapnuvanti Mameva, Sarvabhutahite Rata. Those who, two, but. Because this is continued from the previous verse. Lord Krishna was speaking pure devotion service. So tu is used, that means it's not pure. This is impersonal, lower level. Aksharam, that which is beyond the perception of the senses. Anidesyam, indefinite. Avyaktam, unmanifested. Paripasate, completely engaged in worshipping. Sarvatragam, all pervading. Achincham, inconceivable. Cha, also. Kutastam, unchanging. Achalam, immovable. Dhruvam, fixed. Sanniyamya, controlling. Indriya Gramam, all the senses. Sarvatra, everywhere. Samabuddhayaha, equally disposed. They prapnuvanti, achieve. Mam, me, eva, certainly. Sarvabhuta hite, for the welfare of all living entities. Rata, engaged. Translation by Divine Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. Please repeat. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. Okay, verse number 5. क्लेशो अधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते क्लेशो अधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते क्लेशो अधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते क्लेश trouble अधिकतर very much, tesham, of them, avyakta, to the unmanifested, asakta, attached, chetasam, of those whose minds, avyakta, towards the unmanifested, he, certainly, gatihi, progress, dukkam, is trouble, dehavadvi, by the embodied, avapyate, is achieved. Translation by Srivangas Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Please repeat. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Okay, try to understand this two verses, three verses. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं देवतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अंतकोटि वैष्णव की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदामह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तों की जय। So in this chapter 12, pure devotion service has three or four sections. First section is impersonalist versus personalist. Arjuna is asking the question. That's this chapter starts. Is asking which one is better. Those devotees, those people who are worshipping the impersonal form, or those who are worshipping the personal form. Because in chapter 11, it's called Viswarupa Sandarshana, or the universal form in English. And Lord Krishna showed universal form, then he showed four-handed form of Lord Narayana form, and then he showed two-handed form. So Arjuna wants to clearly define, clear his doubt whether he, because he is attached to two-handed form of Lord Krishna, whether his position is secure or one who is worshipping in person, which one is better, and he wants to also make it clear to the whole world. So that's why he's asking this question. That is the first section, impersonalist versus personalist, 1 to 7. And from 8 to 11 or 12, different stages of bhakti. From first is describing, Lord Krishna is describing Raganuga Bhakti, then Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, and Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti in different stages. So that is the 8 to 12. And then 13 to 20, that is so three sections. 13 to 20 is called Bhaktastakam, or characteristics of the pure devotee. Now the qualities of the devotee, which Lord is very attracted to. Lord likes those. This way, this pure devotee, very small chapter, but very, very significant, important chapter. So, and in this second section also, Lord Krishna is detailedly describing the stages of bhakti in terms of Raganuga Bhakti as internal, and Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, and further is more of external. Raganuga Bhakti is internal in the sense that Smarana, remembering the Lord, that means they are in spontaneous devotion, Raganuga Bhakti. And then they are also Manana in the mind, Smarana, Manana, and then Abhyasarupa. Then third stage, that is the Ragana, that is a Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, and then further is more of a external process. Those who are in those who are in the internal process, internal cultivation of bhakti, and those who are in the external, those who cannot directly worship the Lord, hear about the Lord, and engage in service of the Lord, then they do indirectly work for the Lord, or offer the results, or donate, read some books, sit at home. So those are the indirect process. Lord Krishna giving all these options for those who cannot perform direct devotion service. So now in this particular verse, 3 to 4 and 5, Lord Krishna is describing the impersonal form because Arjuna starts this chapter with Arjuna Vacha Evam Satata Yuktaye Avyaktam Paripas Echapyaksharam Avyaktam Tesanke Yoga Vittama. Evam Satata Yukta. Satata means always, Yuktaye means engaged, just like in the 9th chapter, 14th verse. Krishna is describing. If somebody asks question, why should we chant the holy name? Where did Krishna said? That's the verse. We should quote. We all should know. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha tadava namas santascha mam bhakta nityukta upasate. Many other places, but this is a direct verse about the chanting the holy name 24/7. Not once or twice, not only for some time, but that's how Lord Krishna describes. So that's a evam satata yukta. Those who are engaged in that way, 24/7 remembering, even though they are also working, they are also doing many other things, but still, just like today we are nursing a wing of temple of Vedic planet, the biggest, the topmost temple, getting nursing a wing is opening. There, our Ambarish Prabhu is there, and he Ford's grandson. He's a wealthy person, he has business, so many things, but uh, he is trying to best to follow the process of devotion service, is remembering the Lord. By engaging in the service, is remembering the Lord. Just like our Srila Prabhupada has taken Western disciples from here, 1970, I think, 70, 71, to India. Namsadota Prabhu and many others, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and Bhagavan Prabhu, many others went, Kirtanananda Swami Maharaj. So Prabhupada engaged all of them in this. So much so that they were in Surat and they are almost 24/7. Even the night also, people are coming, meeting Prabhupada. Then Amsadutta Prabhu said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I haven't chanted in last 1 week or so. Haven't chanted, read anything, anything. Prabhupada said, that is all right. We are in the emergency business. So we are engaged in devotion service in this way, busy in preaching, distributing. So that's what that also that means we should not think, oh no, this is impossible. No, we may be working, doing business, everything may be going on, but still thinking and remembering, doing it for Krishna. That's what Evam Satadekta means. It's not just sitting at home. It is not just sitting at temple, thinking that that is what 24/7 means. No, this is impossible for me. No, this is possible for anybody, any walks of life. It is just a practice. You come to that point. Evam satadektaye bhaktastam paripasde. With great, how the satadekta is, it has to be bhakti with great intention, devotion to the Supreme Lord. Paripasde, not ordinary upasade means you can do worship, you can do the uh, upasate, you can use for demigods and elderly people and others. But bhajati, that bhaj means devotion only to Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Devotion is not used for anybody else. People may use, but specifically in Sanatana Dharma, Vedic culture, that bhajati is used only for Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Everybody else, upasana is used. So, pariupaste, that's a pariupaste, that means transcendental worship. That is to the Lord Vishnu, Lord. That is the first two lines. And then the second two lines, Arjuna is asking, is that the person who is worshipping like this, pure devotion service, 24 hours engaged, is that the topmost? Or the second one, Evam Satadiktaye, Tastam Paripal, Echap Yaksharam. Aksharam means, Kshara means deteriorating. Every day things are in our age, our time. We can't bring back in 1 second. Back, however millions of dollars you may pay. So Ksharam means it is deteriorating. Akshara means it is undeteriorating, infallible. Yeah, Aksharam, unmanifested. So, estu aksharam anidesam, that etu aksharam anidesam, but here, evam satayukta bhaktastam paripas, echapyaksharam avyaktam. Avyaktam means unmanifested, aksharam means undeteriorating, avyaktam paripasde, echapyaksharam avyaktam, tesham ke yoga vittama. So, which one is uttama means who is the best? Udgata tamam iti uttama. Who is the best? Then Lord Krishna has already mentioned in the second verse that pure devotees, those who are engaged, they are the best. First is mentioning, immediately first is addressing that. Maya vesta mano ema nitya yukta upa sradaya parayopeta teme yuktadam. Transcendental, with great transcendental faith, they are the best. They are the dear. Teme yukta tamo mata. That is my opinion. There our Acharya explains that the mind flowing through the ocean of garbage, and that should be stopped by like a dam of sense control, of engaging, dovetailing those senses, dovetailing the wealth, dovetailing everything in the service of the Lord. Otherwise, mind will be grab onto this garbage. It may be flowing through so many things, but it is going through the garbage, unwanted dirtiness. So that has to be by a dam of control. That means unless we have to develop higher taste, then only we can give the law. Otherwise, it's not possible. Vishaya vinivartasate niraharasya dehena rasavarjam rasopis param društva nivartate. So you develop higher taste. That's why those who are in Prabhupada always many times he use this example that depending on the mode person is operating, he cannot realize it. If person is operating in the mode of ignorance, if everything is unclean, so dirty, still for him, everything is fine. He never cleans his room, his house, his car, his workplace. Everywhere is dirty, and he doesn't take bath regularly either. And he feels it's all right. What is the problem with it? So, because he's operating in that mode, he's not realizing. So, but one who operates on the mode of passion, if he enters, then he says, "Oh, man, it's so dirty. I can't live here for even 1 minute." So then Prabhupada said, "How come this garbage is here? How come you are not cleaning? Why you kept this place dirty? The temple and wherever Prabhupada is going, you're always making sure that things are properly clean." Mm, and everything. So it's a very important principle. So that control of senses means higher taste. When you develop higher taste, then automatically you keep everything clean because you are operating in the higher mode. Same with the taste of food also. Once you develop higher taste, you don't want no more. You will have distasteful for everything else which is not Krishna Prasad. But it takes practice. Anything what Krishna is bringing, that's all you will take. But initially, you may take everything and anything. But once you understood, once you have tasted Krishna Prasad, then you have no more taste. Even the 100 people eating next to you in the flight, wherever you go, you will not feel. Especially if you go to Disney World, most in vegetarian, it's hard to get. You'll get only everybody is eating the other things only, non-vegetarian. So that's how it is. But even there, we won't be agitated by seeing the people. So that means one has to develop higher taste, one has to operate on the mode of goodness or higher. Then only, otherwise it is not a possibility. We immediately will also want to eat, we will also want to engage in the same activities as others. Um, Prabhupada said, so Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur was the greatest astrologer. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He has written Surya Siddhanta according to the solar. So everything he has written, he knows in and out of this. But he has given up. Initially, he has done it. But he was not interested in astrology. He has given up. He said also, don't look at astrology. You don't need it for devotees. But Srila Prabhupada also mentioned same thing. But still, Hamsa Dhota Prabhu and Pradyumna Prabhu wanted to go astrology and see the astrologer. Somebody else come. He took Hamsa Dhota Prabhu also. The Prabhupada asked, "Like, where did you have gone?" Oh, Pradyumna Prabhu has taken me to astrology. Didn't I tell you before? You should not. You don't need to go to astrology. What for you went? Only he wanted to go. That's he asked me to come. Then I went. So if he asked you to jump, you will jump. No problem. So then why? So you should use your intelligence. Probably. So that's why we should know. So if you develop ayatthas, naturally you will not want to do. Another time also with Syam Sundar Prabhu. Gold was at that time, I think they have done some change. This is many years, 1970s. Suddenly, Shyam Prabhu and Bhagavan Balimardan Prabhu took all the BBT money. Prabhupada is very particular, especially about the BBT. Temples may fail, devotees may fail, but my books never fail. My books is the transformation, is the real, gives transformation effect to anybody who reads, who takes and touches them, reads them for forever. So that's why he's very particular on the books. But they have to, you can all the BBT funds, everything, no, without knowing, without informing Prabhupada. And they put it in the, they bought gold. Prabhupada heard, then immediately telegram to Amsudota Prabhu and Bhagavan Prabhu, they all came from different countries to think Prabhupada is in London, I think at that time. Then nobody knew why Prabhupada called. And next, middle of the night, Prabhupada called all of them. Then Prabhupada said, "What is this? How can you do this? I don't want this immediately. I want, why did you do this first? This is against our principle. This is gambling." Yes, no, Prabhupada, you will get a lot of money. So, because gold is now changing. So, once you buy the gold, so they brought gold. Immediately, the Prabhupada went next day morning, all of them, make sure that it is again taken, money is taken away. Gold was sold. It went up, but obviously gold was up. Prabhupada said, no, even though money is going, you will get a lot of money. I don't want it. This is against our principle of Krishna consciousness. So that's why we have to know the higher principles, understand the higher principle, what actually, what Krishna wants it and how it has to be done. It's not just you want money, you will do anything and everything against the principle. Then it's not Krishna consciousness anymore. So that's it. It is a, these things has to be understood a little bit deep, so that we don't take it in a wrong way, as these examples are suggesting. So, Vishaya Vinivartan, there are higher taste one must develop. So, as in this verse, yeah, that's what the dam, we have must control the mind is flowing over the garbage of incessant desires. That has to be stopped by this dam. Control has to be done. That is what avesh means. Maya avesh manoya nitya yukta upan sadaya parayopante me yuktam. That is the best. Now, in this verse, today's verse 3, 4, and 5, Krishna is speaking. Yetu aksharam anirdesyam is giving the characteristics of the impersonal aspect, because Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.11 is describing out of transcendentalists, there are three categories. Vadanti tattva vedas tattvam gnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdete. This transcendental absolute truth are in the three aspects. First one is the impersonal aspect, Brahma Jyoti, Nirakar, you can say, Raja River, you can say. Then the second aspect is the super soul, Paramatma feature. And the third aspect is the personal feature. That is the highest, that is the topmost. And Lord gives example as the sun rays, sun planet, sun god. Sun rays is also sun in one sense. Sun rays will come only if sun is there. If sun rays comes into our house, you can feel the light and heat. But if you go further beyond the sun rays, then sun planet is there. If sun planet is not there, sun rays won't come. Then behind sun planet, there is a person behind sitting. His name is Vivaswan. Vaivasvata Manu's son is Vivaswan. These are all positions. Depending on the qualification, they will be given the post. Sun god, moon god, Indra's name is Purandara, like that. Sun god's name is Vivaswan. So all the demigods, they're all living entities, from Brahma to Surya to all these are living jivas only, but higher qualifications, higher posts are given to them. So in this way, we have to yes to aksharam, these characters the Srimad Bhagavatam describing Vadanti Tattva Vedas Tattvam Jnana Advayam. This is non-dual, absolute truth, no duality. No. Brahmeti, Brahman. Wherever you hear Brahman means actually the universal form of the Lord, the Brahman effulgence of the Lord. We'll describe from Bhagavad Gita itself, we'll do Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. The first we have to understand, because this Gnana Marga is a little bit tough, lot of philosophy. So You have to pay attention, scrutiny. Then it makes sense after hearing repeatedly. So Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. These are the three stages. Brahman is the universal form, or the which is pervading everywhere, just like the light is here. The electricity is all pervaded. The light is distributed. Bulb is there. The electricity, the light is diffused. So that in that way, the God is there sitting in Golok Vrindavan in the spiritual world, but his energy is all distributed. So that's how you can understand. Look at the ninth chapter, most comprehensive verse number 4 and 5. Krishna is describing. Maya tadam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. In unmanifested form, I am distributed everywhere. What does that mean? He is energetic, source of all energies. It's just like the bulb is diffusing the light all over this room and hall. Same way, Lord's energy is also distributed. I am pervaded everywhere throughout the universe. All the 14 planets, Lord Brahma's Loka, all the way to downward Patal Loka. Everywhere I am pervaded. My energy, everything is oceans are floating, the mountains are floating, everything is floating there. How is it happening? It's not by chance. It is happening because Lord energy He can do, because it is inconceivable. Achincha is also there in these characteristics of impersonal aspect. Lord Krishna is mentioning here in this verse. It's difficult to understand, inconceivable. That's why we can't conceive it. How is it possible? Because we can't float a aeroplane. In so many accidents many times. You can't even float ocean. Floating a ocean means imagine, because so many universes are there, so many planets are there. All these are floating. It's not going out of its orbit. The ocean doesn't go out of its orbit only when there's tsunami or something. That's a different story. But in general, so all these are floating on the energy of the Supreme God. Maya tadam idam sarvam jagat avyaktam mastani bhutan na chaham tesha avastita. There, at the same time, I'm not in them. Means people think that then there is no individuality. If Krishna is everywhere, that means there is no Krishna. Nirakar, there is no Krishna is not a person. Krishna is not individual. Is not there. That's not what he means. And the Prabhupada gives example like the company CEO or a government prime minister, chief minister. Through his energy, if he is signing the bill, is passing the laws, then everything is working under his energy. So his power, everything is being delegated, and everything is working. Company is running, CEO is there, board of directors is there, company is running. But doesn't mean that company CEO is there. Every man's desk, every manager's desk is not there. Every minute is he there? No, he's not there. But everything is running. So on his order, everything is running. Same way the government is running. Same way on Lord Vishnu's, Lord Krishna's energy, the whole world, this whole material universe is running because he is pervaded everywhere. So in the impersonal form, in the Brahman effulgence or Brahman, that is what real Brahman means. Aham Brahmasmi, the first Vedanta aphorism. Aham Brahmasmi means Supreme Brahman, Parabrahman. That is Lord Krishna's first level of understanding, impersonal aspect. But we are also Brahman, we are minute Brahman. We are Brahman, but he is Parabrahman to distinguish. But in general, when Brahman is mentioned, that is the Supreme Lord's aspect. So related to the first Brahman effulgence, that is the first quality. In this way, we have to understand. Fourth and fifth, Lord Krishna is there. At the same time, if Lord Krishna is, Lord Vishnu is carrying all these universes, oh, big, it's so heavy, he will be tired. That question is also removed. So for him, it is nothing. It is like a mustard seed. His expansion, he is not directly even doing it. This is given to Ananta Sesh. Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu has so many expansions. He is indirectly carrying this duty. He doesn't have any duty to perform. Especially Lord Krishna has no duty to perform. He's delegated these to his part and parcels. He's not tired. Like person holding anything for a long time, he can't hold. So Prabhupada says like it's like in a sand particle you hold in a hand. As soon as you remove sand, will fall off. That as soon as Lord Krishna withdraws energy, then this universe gone. So Lord Brahma's time is over, the universe goes to abdomen of Mahavishnu. So that's in that way, Lord, through his energy, everything is pervaded, everything stays in its orbit. He can do all these inconceivable things. So that is what Brahman effulgence means. So the impersonalists, there is karmis, there is jnanis, there is yogis, then there is devotees, bhaktas, four category of people. So the jnanis are the ones who are after this impersonal form. They say that Nirakar. Nirakar means Lord doesn't have form. It has come from the energy, Brahman, Brahma Jyoti. But Brahma Jyoti, there is no substance, there is no person. One, when you go there, then after so long period, look at again Bhagavad Gita verse, 7th chapter, Lord Krishna, it is Mishra Bhakti. Lord Krishna is describing pure devotion, not in the beginning. First he is describing Karma Mishra Bhakti in the verse number 17. Chaturveda Bhajante, 14, I think. That is 14. Or 15. Chaturveda Bhajantyam Jana Sukrina. Four kinds of people worship him. These are Mishra Bhakta, may have desires, like Dhruva Maharaj, four Kumaras. Those who are inquisitive, those who are distressed, like Gajendra, who was in great distress, crocodile is eating. So all these people are Mishra Bhaktas. They are not pure devotees yet. They have became later, but they are not in the beginning. So and then Krishna is describing the Gnanis. Those are Karma Mishra Bhaktas. Then the Gnanis Krishna is describing in the 19th verse. Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Samahatma Sudurlabha. Because why Krishna is saying Bahunam Janmanamante, after many, many births, not one birth, many, many births, uh, to understand. Final this verse also Krishna is saying the same thing. Third, fourth, at the last Krishna is saying, at last they achieve me. At last they achieve me means not in this life. After many lifetimes they will come. How? By again they have to come to bhakti only. One lady was asking Prabhupada, always putting the hand up like that. In the beginning, so many things Prabhupada had to tolerate. It's not like now they have temple got on big, you have a lot of space, Vyasasana, distance. In the date, they are Second Avenue. You can go and see that place. It's so small, just like this. People used to sit all the way. Prabhupada is there like this one, not even Vyasasana. Everybody is there, you're very close, too close, like this. And that lady was keep on raising the hand. Prabhupada is speaking, keep on raising the hand. She wants to say something. Prabhupada understood then, understood the consonants and background. Then he didn't say, he go on speaking, but still keep on raising. Said, okay, let me, you chant. Then, okay, what? And then he said, Prabhupada, isn't it all the paths going to the same place? Prabhupada said, no. Can you put your foot through any other hole than mouth? It only goes through the mouth only. No. It can. There is no all paths leading into one place. That's not Krishna's statement. But people think it's all possible. At last they achieve me. If you look at the 9th chapter, 16th verse, Krishna is describing Bhagavad Gita, all these aspects. What happens to the karmis, what happens to the jnanis, what happens to the yogis, everything clearly described. In the 9.13, yeah, Mogasa Moga Karmano, Moga Gnana Vicheta Rakshasi Masurinche Mohinim Sita. There in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining. Those are fruitive activities, those who are grannies, they think that they can attain the perfect merge into Brahman effulgence, because that is the destination. The karmi's destination is those who are after the impersonal worship, and those who are after the demigod worship and various other worship, they will go to higher planets. Like what is it? Bhavar Swargaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka. Depending on how much pious credit, they will go to the higher planet. But again, once the pious credit's enjoyment is done, fall down again. Kshine Punya Mattalokam Visanti. This is Bhagavad Gita also. The Jnani's position is after many, many lifetimes, then finally they will merge into Brahman effulgence. That is the first level. Between material world, spiritual world, there is a layer. That layer is called Brahman effulgence. That's not a, it is kind of liberation, but at the same time it is not. Means you enter there, then again you fall down. Because there is no person to interact. There is no activity. It's called Nirbeda Brahma Anusandhan. Beda means variety. Nirbeda means no variety. Anusandhan, you are merging into Brahman effulgence. No person, how long can you stay? You will fall down. So there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, many verses, Lord Brahma's prayers also, Lord Brahma is telling. Multiple verses, Lord Brahma is telling. There's a verse in 10th canto, 2nd chapter. In demigod's prayer to Lord Krishna in the womb of Devaki, they're offering that prayers also. This verse is only there. Asmad Anadruta Usmadangre Arufya Kruchena Param Patanti Ada Anadruta Usmadangre Avisuddha Buddha. Because they have impure desires, they are not purified. Because they haven't worshipped, they haven't taken to the worship of the Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Arvya Kruchena Param Patanti Adha. After so long practice, they will enter into Brahmana effulgence, but they again fall down because they are not worship the Lord. So in a personal form. Or they call this as Nirakar. Nirakar means Lord doesn't have a hands, doesn't have a legs, doesn't have anything. So it is energy. The Brahman apple, that's what they think that. If Lord is pervaded everywhere, then they don't want to worship the any it is Archa Vigraha. No, what is Archa Vigraha? No. But it doesn't make any logical sense. If you say that everywhere Lord is pervaded, doesn't mean that He is not there in the Archa Vigraha. He is energy only. If energy is everywhere pervaded, all over the universe, Maya Tadam Idam Sarvam Jagata Vyaktam. Then he is also there in that form also. Archa Vigraha also is there. God is everywhere then. Because Krishna, if you look at a Brahman apple, is pervaded everywhere. He is everywhere. In every atom, everywhere he is there. So that's why it is not like, it doesn't make any logical sense. So in that way, we have to understand. So the Gnani is that is after so long practice, it is very difficult, especially for Kali Yuga. It is extremely difficult because they have to control the senses. In this verse, Krishna is telling the characteristics. If you give an object, you can meditate, you can think of a person. If there is no object, if there is no form, how you are going to think, how you are going to control your senses, and how long can you practice it? It is impossible task, especially in Kali Yuga, especially. So we can't even live long enough to control, to practice that particular aspect. That's why Jnana Marga is extremely difficult. That's why in the fifth verse, Krishna has mentioned Klesha Adhikatara. Klesha itself is great difficulty. Adhikatara means it's extremely great difficult. Extremely difficult. Klesho Adhikataras Tesham Avyakta Saktam. This Avyakta, unmanifested form, worship of unmanifested, Avyakta Sakta Chetasam. They have Adbira Vapyate. So it's extremely difficult. In this verse, Etu Aksharam Aniddesyam. Aksharam means undestroyable. Etu Aksharam Aniddesyam. So Nirdesha means there's a place, but there. So it is there everywhere. Aniddesyam. Avyaktam. Unmanifested. So because you can't see the form. Only where again Prabhupada been asked. I think one reporter asked. Prabhupada, you are a pure devotee of the Lord? Yes. Uh, you are in touch with the Lord? Yes. Have you seen the Lord? Yes. Can you show me the Lord? Yes. He said in the asana, and then he stopped speaking. Then, so show me. Again he asked. He said, yes, you become my disciples. Then you can see. So depending on what consciousness people are asking accordingly. When sometimes when devotees or somebody who's in a different consciousness, he asks, "Are you pure?" No, I'm not pure devotee. I'm also like you. Prabhupada. Depending on the person is asking accordingly, Prabhupada answered. This reporter is in a challenging mode. What is this pure devotee means? So why you have to worship in this Vyasasana and all this? Because people cannot understand this at all. They think everybody is the same. But everybody is not same. Even though otherwise the demigods also living in jivas, how is it same? It is not same. His Upanishad also is telling, if you worship demigod, you will get this result. If you worship Lord Vishnu, you will get different results. In Krishna's 9th chapter, verse number 25. Yanti devratam devan pitrune yanti pitruvatam bhutan yanti bhuteja yanti majja jinopma. If you worship demigod, you will go to demigod planet. If you worship Antidevratam Devan, Pitruni Ant, if you worship forefather, is the forefather planet, Pitri planet. That's where you'll go. If you worship the Bhutas, Pretas, the Tantrics, those worship, they enter into the ghosts and they create ghosts, they send ghosts. So there they will go. Between Bhuloka and Swargaloka, there is a Boer planet. In that, there are ghosts, uh, the different kinds of ghosts, various categories. That's where they go. Krishna, this is Krishna's statement only, verse. Yanti Devratan Devan, Pitrinant Pitruvatan, Bhutani Yanti Bhuteti, Yanti Majjan. But those who worship me, they will come to me only. So that is very clear. So many verses are there like that. One who doesn't have a knowledge of supreme absolute truth, personal form, they can't enter into the spiritual world. Period. So if they are only have knowledge up to the impersonal form, they can enter only into Brahmana world. They can't go beyond. So if you write your exam for the your masters or bachelor, you will pass only bachelors. You can't get PhD degree. Same thing here. Liberation doesn't mean that you enter into the Vaikuntha, you'll have activities, you'll not come down. No. If this Brahma Sayujya Mukti means merging into these jnanis. After so long practice, one has to come to that level. Then again they fall down, they open the hospital, philanthropic work. That's what they do. So that's why Lord Krishna is describing here. And these pastimes are there. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met in Varanasi, Chandrasekhar Acharya and Tapan Mishra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu associated used to live. He went to Vrindavan and came back to Varanasi, and then he met Sanatana Goswami, Prabhu Goswami, then Chandrasekhar and Tapan, but they are not happy, they are morose because they are hearing every day regularly blasphemy of these Mayavadis because Shankaracharya has established some process. So, but he has given the highest process at the end that they couldn't get it. So that conversation is also there. Prabhupada explained that Shankaracharya has given because he to worship the impersonal form, it is inconceivable. How you are going to worship? Then he has given, no, you worship in this way, Pancha Upasana. That's why you will see in Shankaracharya established mutts and temples, you have all these Pancha Upasana. Starting with Ganesha, then Surya, then Shakti, then Shiva, then Vishnu. Then finally you come to that. Because without having some form, then actually you can't come to that impersonal understanding. You have to meditate on something. What you're going to meditate? There's nothing. So that's why has given this Panchopasana. It is there in the Vedas, but that's not the highest. As they has been chastised by Narada Muni. Why did you deviate everybody into the same engagement and enjoy nicely life after life? Why did you do it? You yourself is not happy after writing, and then you made everybody else also same way. So that's why you're questioning me why I'm unhappy. So you better write something which gives unlimited happiness. Don't deviate in this way. Then he has written Samadhi Bhasha, Srimad Bhagavatam, yes, the supreme absolute. But otherwise, in the Vedas also, this is there, Panchopasana. So, but then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this one conversation is at Varanasi when these devotees were hearing blasphemy of these Mayavadis conception. There is Brahmavadi, Mayavadi, the two aspects in the impersonalists. Then there is Paramatma feature is the middle portion, that is yogis. There is a Brahmavadi slash Mayavadi, you can put that is one category. There is difference, we'll come to that. And there is a second character, is a super soul worshipping, that is a Paramatmavadis are called yogis. Dhyana yogis, Ashtanga Hatha yogis. They are meditating on the super soul. The super soul, the Lord is situated in super soul. Sarvasya chaham hridisanya vishto matta smrtir jnanam upohanancha vedaischa sarvairahame vedyo vedanta krut vedavid deva chaham 15.15. Lord himself is telling that I am situated in everybody's heart as super soul, including ant, including animal, cows, dogs, everywhere I am there. So he is also there as super soul. So the yogis are meditating on that form. So after so long practice of so much control of senses, even Paramatma, these Brahmavadis also have to control the senses, as in this verse. Sam niyamya indriya grama. Very difficult. How will you control? If you want to if you want to give up a gulab jamun or some sweet, if you have developed higher taste for some other thing, you have to eat. Then you can give up this. Okay, instead of eating this, I will eat other thing. If there is no eating, then what? How you can give? How long can you give up? Desires cannot be given up. Desire will be there, material world or spiritual world. But the desires are material desires or spiritual. That if you have spiritual desires, material desires automatically will give up. But if there is without having anything on what basis you will control and how long? Externally you may control, but internally those proclivities, enjoyment mentality is there. Then immediately, as if you are in the situation, then you will be automatically uh, again agitated, becomes agitated. So that's why it doesn't make any logical sense. But that is what the difference of this impersonalist Brahmavadis like Mayavadis, Paramatma yogis, where they will go. Their final destination is merging into body of Mahavishnu. Paramatma, there is no Paramatma in spiritual world. That Paramatma feature is only in the material world. They are there in the demigod. Paramatma is also there. Super soul is there in the demigod because super soul has to give the permission for them to bless any living entity. They have no independence. In the seventh chapter, Krishna itself telling in Bhagavad Gita. There is no, they have no independence. So, so the Paramatmavadis also has a problem. After so long practice, they merge into the again. But when they come to the pure devotion, finally, then Bhakti Yoga, then they will enter spiritual. Otherwise, they can't enter into spiritual world. So then the last one is the devotees. In this way, the transcendentalists are divided into three categories. Krishna is speaking, of course, in the first category, Brahmavadis, impersonalists. The impersonalists are two categories. Those who are worshipping Brahman form, impersonal form, Virat Rupa form, you can say. Then the Mayavadis think that everybody is God. As soon as they take sannyas, you are Narayan, I am Narayan. So, and they made also, there is the Narayan, goat Narayan, chicken Narayan, all these things. But actually, not Narayan is not poor. Lakshmi Narayan, so is always opulent. Uh, Lord Narayan has pervaded as, his energy as an impersonal form, and doesn't mean that everybody is Narayan. So that's a Krishna is telling clearly. Maya tadam sarvam jagat avyaktam murtina. Otherwise, where is the question of seed giving father? If everybody is Narayan, then where is the question of father and son relationship? Sarva yonishu kontu sambhavanti murtaya. Repeated so many verses. Aham bija pradapita. I am the seed giving father. Father and son becomes one. Have you seen in this world? Father and son becoming one. Qualitatively one, but quantitatively, no, there is a difference. Father is different, son is different. Yes, similarities, qualities is there. Doesn't mean they are one. They doesn't become individual. It doesn't get lost. Both are two individual. Father is individual, son is individual. Same way, Supreme Father individual, Jiva is also individual. There is a relationship, there is a rasa. That has to be understood. But this is how the impersonalists worship this. So, Big Bang Theory has come, something has come from energy. But no, nothing you will find in this world without person, neither car runs nor flight runs, nothing runs in this world without a person's interaction. Neither they could produce a single living entity till now. But they claim and they try to give all this kind of arguments. So that's a शास्त्रक्षण अचिंत्य कलुरे भावा तां तर्केन योजायते महाजनस्य येन गतस्य पान्तान् धर्मस्य तत्त्वं निहितं गुहायाम्. So this Sanatana Dharma is very confidential. It's very difficult to understand unless you approach the Mahatmas, unless you approach the bona fide Sampradaya, bona fide Acharya, then you can understand. Mm. Shankaracharya also has comes for a specific purpose. Lord Shiva Samsa has come specifically to establish some things because before that Brahma Buddha was there. He has completely rejected the Vedas, worship me. Then he has to establish next higher ground. Because at that time, people are at that level only. They can't accept higher things. So Shankaracharya has established next level. So gradually it went up. Then after that, Ramanacharya, Vishnu Swami, all the Vaishnava Acharyas come. Before that, Shankaracharya has come at that level because people are not at come to that consciousness at. So for him to establish higher principles, that's all he could establish. But at the end, he told Narayana Paravyaktat Govindam Bhajamodamate. Lord Govinda is beyond this material manifestation. He is aloof from all this, as Krishna is telling in 9.4 and 5. I am aloof. Even though I am pervaded everywhere, everything is, I am holding all these universes, everything. But I am aloof from them. I have nothing to do with this material world. I am indirectly holding on these things. So, yeah, Jagannath also. So, in this way, we can understand. So, Mayavadis think that means as soon as you, God has a material form. That also they have. One concept is you become Narayan, I am become Narayan. They call Narayan each other. And not only that, they think that Lord, when he comes, like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Rama, Narsingha, any form, they think that Lord also has a, because he has body, he has eyes, he has legs. So that means he is also material. Right now I am conditioned, but as soon as I become sannyas, I am Narayan, I am God. So that's why they can never enter into even Brahman appellants because they have this completely wrong conception. So that's why we can't even hear. Vaishnava Mukot Girna Pota Hari Katamurtam Sarpo Chista Bhayayata. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clearly has told. Don't ever hear. They may be speaking about the absolute truth. They may be speaking same Bhagavad Gita, same Srimad Bhagavatam. Generally, they don't speak so much Srimad, but these days they're also touching Srimad Bhagavatam. But don't hear. As soon as you hear it, it may be the same words of Bhagavad Gita, but there won't be any transformation. Rather, it causes a poisonous effects. Because milk is milk. If a snake touches the milk, if you drink, it's poisonous. Same thing. So correct, correct. Yes, Mayavadi is dangerous than atheism. So that's what it. But people claim to be claim themselves as God. So many, especially in India, this is more prevalent than other countries. So too much knowledge. That's what happens. So in this way, we can understand clearly what Krishna is telling. So I was telling. So when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Varanasi, then these devotees, so much blasphemy was going on, criticizing I am God, you are God, all this. Then they couldn't tolerate it. Then they complained to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At the same time, while they were discussing like that, then Sanodiya Brahman, Maharashtra Brahman came. He told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I invited all these Prakash Ananda Saraswati, all the Mayavadis to my place. You also come, please come. I humbly request, please come. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already has a desire. Initially, it's been reported to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that he didn't meet, he went to Vrindavan, Mathura, and then came back. So then he's already thinking that I have taken sannyas to actually deliver. Before that, he was thinking that I came here to distribute this kind of everybody to the fallen, the Mayavadis, the Buddhists, everybody, the atheists. So he gives 5 or 6 categories in this particular chapter. But now they have become, they are criticizing, blaspheming me. Then I have my purpose is lost. So that's why I stay because one takes sannyas, everybody worships. That's the general. As soon as somebody sees saffron color, they has respect and everything. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu let me take sannyas and distribute this. Then when he came here, then he understood the desire of Muhammad. Then immediately accepted the invitation. Then he went there. Then all these devotees, Prakash and everybody was there. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and immediately he washed his feet. He offered his respects to all these great sannyasis from Shankara Sampradaya, Mayavada sannyasis. Then immediately offered respects and he washed his feet and he sat down there only. Then immediately and then he exhibited great effulgent body. Transcendental effulgence was coming. Then they all were so much attracted. Prakash and Saraswati and all his disciples. He had so many thousands of disciples. He had great scholar. Then they are all attracted. Then Prakash started speaking. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you are from our Sampradaya, you are initiated by Keshav Bharati, you are from our line, and why are you not sitting with us? Why are you there? You are supposed to meditate and supposed to read Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra and Vedas. Why are you chanting this? Why are you doing? Why are you mad or crazy? Then he said, yes, because my guru has said, Guru Mokka and Deki. Yes, my guru has told me I am a fool. Number one, I have no capacity to read Vedanta Sutra and meditate. He has simply told me that chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Then the beautiful verses are there. Krishna Nama Mantra. You will get the liberation by chanting the Krishna's name. No, Samsara Mochana. Krishna Nama ite Samsara Mochana. Krishna Mantra ite Krishna Prema. So by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you attain Krishna Prema. Pancham Purushartha. So Chaturveda Purushartha, Dharmartha, Kama Moksha will state secondary results, not even primary results. So he has given me. Then I asked, I am become mad. What mantra have you given? So, oh Gosani, what mantra have you given? I have become mad and crying, rolling down on the ground. He said, yes. So, yehi to swabhav. So, this is the characteristics of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. It naturally it will transform and make one ecstatic. So, in this way, he started explaining. Then they are completely transformed and mesmerized by understanding the glories of the holy name, understanding the glories of the supreme absolute truth in a personal form. Lord is a person. So then Prakash Ananda Saraswati became a great devotee. They all surrendered. The whole Mayavadis, thousands of Mayavadis, they all surrendered. They took initiation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by this conversation. So in Lord Brahma's prayers also you see that Grane Prayasam Udapasya Namanta Eva Sanmukaritam Bhavadiya Vartam स्थाने स्तुति गताम tanuvan manovir. Grane prayasam utapasya. This has to be given up. Brahma, Lord Brahma also gives this is verse number, I think, 14, 10, 14, 8, I think. There's verse number 2, I think. There also he gives Stula Avagasam. It is like beating the empty husk. These Mayavadis, Brahmavadis are trying to beat the empty husk. However, beat empty husk, nothing is going to come out. Klishya Bodhala Evala Srushti Shrutim Klishyate. It is very difficult. It's a great difficulty to practice this meditation and worshipping this impersonal aspect. Even after so long practice, and you can't attain. So it is just beating the empty husks. Lord Brahma himself is offering in this way. And then Lord Krishna is also mentioning the 16th verse of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, describing various categories. After explaining this Satatam Kirtayantam, pure devotees explaining there are other types of transcendentalists who are Jnana Yajnana Chapi Anye, Ekatvena Prataktena Bahuda Visvato Mukam. There are three other categories. I explained in the 7th chapter, four kinds of people worship me, Sakam Bhaktas. Then I explained the Jnana Yogis, Bahuram Jammanamante. Now there are other categories in that also. The one who thinks themselves as God, and then one who worship the universal form, that is the third category, and second category, those who are demigod worshippers. Ekatvena, Pratatvena, Visvatomukam. Those who are Ekatva means they think God, equal with God. This is Mayavadis. They think they are Narayan. Then the second category is Pratatvena. There are so many multi god worship. So many demigods. So they think by worshipping them they can attain the liberation, they can enter into spiritual, but that is not possible. Through any other path, it is not possible. That's why the Prabhupada said, yes, you have only one mouth. You have to put food, you can't put in through ear, nor nose, or eyes. Food has to go through the mouth only. Because through the bhakti only you can enter into the spiritual world. You can't enter through any other process. There are various levels. All these are coming to that only, but through bhakti only. You may perform karma yoga or you may follow different religion, Buddhism, Christianism, whatever. But after so long practice, so many lifetimes, if you are in touch with pure devotees, then somehow or other you may come to practice of bhakti. Then you are on the path. Then finally, how long that takes, only God only knows. So that's why Krishna is clearly detailing out various processes, and in Arjuna's question, Lord Krishna is addressing this in this way. There is another place. This the two conversations. One conversation is related to the Mayavadis in Adi Leela, chapter 7. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is discussing in chapter Madhya Leela, last chapter also. There's two chapters describing this Varanasi pastime, great pastime. And the other pastime is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. This is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is also in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is impersonalist, but he was a magistrate for the. He was in charge for the Jagannath Puri temple. He was a great scholar. He was in and out, knows the Vedanta Sutra. Then started 7 days. He described Atma Ramascha Manayo Nirganta Gurukrame Ittam Bhota Guno Hari. That verse. He has described so many different ways in impersonal Sankara philosophy. He has described. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started describing. Then he described the same verse in 51 ways. Then he completely awestruck. Then he understood. Then he has come to, then he surrendered. Then he offered 100 verses in prayers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He submitted himself. Then he became a great devotee. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed six-armed form as Lord Rama, as Lord Krishna, and as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as sannyasi. All three together, he showed Shadbhuj form to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Became a great devotee. All this happened because his brother-in-law was a great devotee, Gopinath Acharya. This morning we were reading. Gopinath Acharya was a Lord Brahma's incarnation and also Ratnavali Saki in the spiritual world. By his mercy, he chastises, actually argues with him. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was became unconscious, he brings him, Saramur. So that time this conversation was going on. How can you say that he is a Lord, he is incarnation? Where is, how can you prove me? So many verses, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was arguing with Gopinath. Gopinath Acharya became so, so he became morose. So he has so much knowledge on Vedanta, but no use in this kind of jnana, dry philosophy. No real actual devotion, any of the sort. So in this, there is a lot of philosophy. This, but there is a a wonderful sweet pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussing with Prakash Ananda Saraswati. So let's read that one quickly and then we'll end. Those are beautiful verses. I couldn't remember all of them. Let's read that, then we'll end. कृष्ण नामे यही आनंद सिंधु आस्वादने ब्रह्मानंद तारे आगे कतोदक समा. The compared to the ocean of transcendental bliss that one tastes by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the pleasure derived from the impersonal Brahman realization, Brahmananda, is like the shallow water in a canal. As I explained, it's so difficult to control. If there is no person, what you are going to meditate, what you are going to, how you are going to control. If there is no higher thing, you are attracted to something, then you can give up something which is lower. Otherwise, we can't give up. Then Prabhupada is also quoting Bhakti Rasamrita. Brahmananda bhave deva chet parardha guni krita naiti bhakti sukam bodhe paramanu tulam api. If Brahmananda transcendental bliss derived from understanding the impersonal Brahman were multiplied million times, such a quantity of Brahmananda could not compare with even an atomic portion of the pleasure released in pure devotion service. So, the vast difference from this impersonal aspect to the supreme absolute truth. And then we have the example of Lord the Ajamil. So simple, but he called out to Narayana, Na, four letters. By chanting these four syllable words, his all his sinful activity he has already attained. That's why when Yamadutas came, Vishnu Dutas also came and stopped him. There's a whole conversation. So that is the chanting of the holy name has that significant effect. Now the Varanasi pastime is going on now. Discussion. Prabhu kahe suno Sripad. Sripad means this Prakash answer. Ihara karana guru more mokha deki karila shasan. Sri Chaitra Mahaprabhu replied to Prakash answer, my dear sir, kindly hear the reason. My spiritual master considered me a fool and therefore he chastised me. मूर्ख तुम्ही तुम्हार नाही का वेदांत अधिकार कृष्ण मंत्र जपा सदा यही मंत्र सार. No, you are a fool, number one, he said. You are not qualified to study Vedanta philosophy. Therefore, you must always chant the holy name of Krishna. This is the essence of all mantras or Vedic hymns. That is Maha Mantra. And then he quoted Rigveda. Rigveda ata Yajurveda Samaveda api Atharvana Adita Tena Enoktam Hari Riti Aksharadvayam. Simply by chanting Hari, Hari. One who takes away all the impurities, sinful activities in our heart, that is equal to all four Vedas, reading all four. A person who chants the two syllable Hari has already studied four Vedas. This is like Bhagavad Gita, verse 7th chapter, verse number 27. Lord Krishna himself, Vedeshu, Yajneshu, Tapassu, Jnaneshu, Chaiva, Punya Palam Pradishtam, Yatyet Sarvam Viditam, Viditva Yeti, Upaiti Chajam. So, all the reading of the Vedas, penances, austerity, charity, all these results automatically you will get by simply practicing pure devotion service. As in this verse, Krishna mantra haite abe samsara mochan. This is the verse I was quoting earlier. Krishna nama haite pabe Krishnera charan. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can obtain the freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Further, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing all this to Prakasana. Nama vinu kalikale nahi ara dharma sarva mantra sara nama yei astra marma. In this age of Kali, there is no religious principle other than the chanting of the holy name, which is the essence of all the Vedic hymns. This is the purport of all the scriptures. यही आज्ञा पाना नाम लई अनुक्षण नाम लईते लईते मोरा भ्रांत हिला मना. Since I have received this order from my spiritual master, I always chant the holy name. But I thought that by chanting and chanting the holy name, I had been bewildered, became ecstatic, basically crazy. धैर्य धरिते नारी हैला उन्मत्त हासी कंडी नाचे गाय ऐचे मदमत्त. While chanting the holy name of the Lord in pure ecstasy, I lose myself. Thus I again cry, laugh, sing just like a madman. So then he asked his guru, why, what is happening with me? Pagala haile ami dhairya nahi mane yeta chinti nivedun guru charane. I saw I had become mad by chanting. Immediately I submitted this at the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Then he said, Kiva mantra dila gosani kiva tare bal japite japite mantra karila pagal. My dear Lord, what kind of mantra have you given me? I have become mad by simply chanting this Maha mantra. Then his guru told, Krishna Nama Mahamantra te yehi to swabhav, yehi jape tare Krishna upajaya bhav. It is the nature of Hare Krishna Mahamantra that anyone who chants it immediately develops his loving ecstasy of Krishna. Depending on how seriously, how ardently we are calling out. Accordingly, it happens very quickly or it happens after so long practice. Depends on what consciousness and how seriously we are desiring it. कृष्ण विषय का प्रेम परम पुरुषार्थ यारे आगे तृणातुल्यचारी पुरुषार्थ religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation are known as the four goals of life. But before love of Godhead, the fifth highest goal, these appear as insignificant as straw in the street. So in this way, we can these are the nice verses. And there's so many verses. The whole chapter is there, chapter 7. But at least these are the beautiful verses. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prakash Ananda Saraswati. This is in the Adi Leela, chapter 7. It is also there in Madhya Leela, I think chapter 26 or 27. And in this verse, this is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, 6 sound form. This is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showing 6 sound. After the from discussion between Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Prakash, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. But time is up already. Any questions? Anyone has any questions? A lot of philosophy we discussed. Let me see. Any questions on the Zoom? Anyone has questions? You're unmuted. Okay. Anyone has questions here? Everybody understood? Too much philosophy, it went through the brain, out of the head. Any questions, Prabhu? First time, with too much information.
No, they started in the middle. They start gradually. They might
Yes.
understand.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. This is in chapter 12. But that's it. Means I don't directly jump. If I would have jumped, I gave the context and gradually systematically brought up so that everybody can connect. Yeah, even if you didn't understand, if you keep hearing, then slowly you will be able to connect the dots. It takes little time. Yeah. Okay, if no other questions, we can stop here.